Hello everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome back to the channel for what is the final few hours, days, basic couple days worth of content before I move from this place. Oh, by the way, my throat is still not back to normal. Hopefully over the weekend when I have a little bit of a break and set up this new house that it'll be back. But in any case, let's get talking about Bullseye and White Tiger. The balance update, I think a lot of us were not looking forward to. Some that don't like, Bullseye won't like. I don't know, I haven't read this. This is the first time me reacting to it, so let's do that. So Bullseye joined the contest aimed at being a threatening skill defender with his attacker kit, targeting a handful of annoying defense mechanics in miss, evade, power stick. And yeah, I rank 3'd this champion, and it is a champion that is doing bits in different areas. You can see him right there. A lot of the time he spends in alliance wars, in defense. Of course he would, because he's such a devastating champion, but in attack wise as well, he's quite cool. After reviewing his performance as an attacker, we're happy with what we're seeing in regards to his target matchups. His damage is consistent across the board, and his signature ability synergizes incredibly well with the recoil tree. As a defender, Bullseye immediately made an impact in both Battlegrounds and Alliance War metas. The tricky gameplay surrounding his Killer Instinct ability was designed to disrupt the loops of attackers lacking answers to his evade. On top of that, his constant barrage of critical hits and bleeds through block also contribute to Bullseye's strong performance as a defender so far. Now there's another paragraph that follows, and another paragraph, so let's see what Kabam have to say on next, because this is going to be the telltale sign. When reviewing his defensive performance over multiple Battlegrounds and Alliance War seasons, we've seen players look to a handful of champions to effectively take down opposing Bullseye. To give you an example, recently I decided to, and I'm not like, but I am actually behind on ranking up a lot of champions. Storm is a champion that I brought up as a counter to Bullseye after a few recommendations, but it was going to be a champion I'd rank up in any case, and yeah, I've been using this one, Bishop, as well as just a kind of strong counter and damage dealer. Yeah, so I can't recommend those two champions I just mentioned enough. So Storm and of course Bishop, who is a defender in Alliance Wars, believe it or not. So however, when looking at performance data, we are seeing one outlier that we would like to action on. As a defender, Bullseye opponents are taking too much damage per second over the course of the fight, while opponents who are bleed immune are performing as we'd like. Versus Bullseye, we're seeing non-bleed immune opponents being punished at too high a rate. To address this, we've adjusted the frequency that is instant bleed damage is inflicted on defense. Instant bleeds will no longer trigger when avoiding a basic attack with dexterity. They will still trigger when avoiding special attacks. We're not expecting non-bleed immune attackers to finish fights against him at full health, but on average they should be leaving with a bit more than they are now. So that's big. That's big as well for going, okay, this is an option for this, or a counter for this, or a new counter for this, because you're like, right, well, I won't chip so much health away for this non-bleed immune champion. So hey, that's good news. One other note on Bullseye currently, his SP1 hits are acting as contact hits when they should be projectile hits. The biggest impact from this change will be felt in Warlock and Archangel matchups. Warlock will no longer inflict virus charges, and Archangel will no longer inflict poison debuffs when blocking Bullseye's SP1. We've had this bug logged on Trello for a while and are planning on releasing the fix to this alongside his rebalance. Interesting. That is very interesting. So if you're using those as counters, you won't be able to use them as counters anymore. It doesn't necessarily feel like this is a huge nerf to the defensive-based abilities, which is good in some ways. People have invested a lot of rank-up resources into that particular champ. Yeah, I'd say a mixed bag for players Good for me because it doesn't feel like I've lost out on Bullseye as an attacker. As a defender, he's still strong, but also on a plus side is if I'm facing off against him, at least I have a bit more scope of options. So I'm sure that some people may look at this as like a win. It's sort of a win, but sort of it's not really a loss in any case. It's a thing, right? It's a thing. They've done a thing, whether you like it or not. White Tiger's the other champion. Was designed as an aggressive mystic attacker who rewards a high-tempo playstyle. Equipped with utility targeted towards defense who weaponizes power gain and regeneration buffs, we were hoping to see players use her effectively versus defenders such as Gore, Vision, Arcus and Hulkling. So far we're happy with how Ava is performing, as she's landed in a healthy spot in a meta in regards to her usage, as well as her effectiveness in her targeted matchups and general ones. We're also happy with how she's landed as a defender, mostly punishing anyone who is unprepared to manage the power gain in her signature ability. Reminder, make sure you either finish the fight off before the 15% health mark or bring champions who control ability power rate. No changes incoming for White Tiger. I mean, it's good for White Tiger owners. It's not really a champion I vibe with, and that is just because there's a ton of champions in this game. I'm trying to find something that kind of fits a certain thing that you want to do in game or where you want to go is always a difficult one. You're like, do I rank up this one? Well, this one does the job. Well, this does a similar job. Will Kabam down the line have some piece of content where you might need a rank 5, 6 star White Tiger or a rank 2 or rank 3, 7 star version? Maybe. But then that's a case of like, that's playing guesswork of the future, which I suppose is not the end of the world. Try new champions out, see how they go. So yeah. It says that like changes incoming for Bullseye. His timeline will look like 46.0 August, full release with changes, which is just a bug fix and a change in the way that the instant bleed system works. Also, and here's a sad thing, no mention about Superior Iron Man. A lot of people have deduced or thought that this would be something that would be in the August release. If you remember August of last year, we saw the Iron Man buff, and that's something that's, you know, I don't know if it goes down in Kabam infamy because it's like, you know, a time where Kabam didn't make any money off of this geezer right here and his kind of buff, his rework. So will they do the same thing with Superior Iron Man? It'll be exciting. I'm a big fan of the comic book series with Superior Iron Man. Had a recent run, and I say recent run, that was back in 2012. Oh, I've got to read back through that series of comic books, but they're all in boxes at the moment, so I can't have that time to refresh my memory. But maybe I will do come August or July next month. It could be when we see the buff. Really excited in any case for that. Yes, it's been an interesting time with those two champions and the rebalance. I was personally expecting to see a lot more changes to Bullseye. However, though, the way the Onslaught situation went when it comes to Kabam keeping some of these more challenging defenders, I should have known better to go, they're going to change something, but no, everything remains the same. You know, we've got Mr. Onslaught still doing Mr. Onslaughty things, and of course other champions, tricky defenders, still doing tricky champion things as well. There also seems to be, whilst I've been recording, there seems to be an issue impacting starting seeding positions in Battlegrounds Season 19. Which look, I'll cover in this video as well, but this is just derived as just as I've been recording actually, so I'll try and put like a time code for this stuff. So Kabam have said, we are aware of an issue impacting the starting position of new season Battlegrounds, resulting in many summoners starting lower down the victory track than they should. As an additional grind will be inevitable this season, as a result, we are adding the following rewards to compensate. 15,000 7-star shards for reaching Diamond 1, and 10,000 Titan Crystal shards for reaching Vibranium 1. That's pretty good as an apology. That's really good as an apology. Damn, like I mean, I'm just about to do some content on Battlegrounds. I've got to be very careful with this, the throat. I'm just gonna record content, have a bit of a break, and then record again when it feels like it's a bit better. But yeah, that's a pretty decent buff right there of things. A pretty nice W right off the bat. Yeah. what's happened? It's crazy. I just want to jump over. I'll just jump over to the forums whilst I'm recording at the moment and see what the crack is with it. But yeah, I think that I did see briefly some people mentioning that as to the issue, but starting position incorrect. Of course, a lot of people I think have mentioned this as well. You know, Deacon just mentioned it there, saying they're starting down in gold 5. So yeah, there is an issue at the moment with seeding. You may have seen this. It may be affecting you, but and yeah, downside is you got to do more grinding. Positive side of things is that you get some extra shards, some extra Titan crystal shards. That I think, I don't know. For me, looking at this, that's a W. Like, it's W compensation. 10,000 Titan crystal shards and 15,000 7-star shards is very, very nice. Excellent. Massive poggies, massive poggers. Okay, that's been the video. Appreciate you. What are your thoughts on the Bullseye situation? And as well, what's your thoughts on this seeding situation? Put it in the comments. Check out some other content located on screen. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Who gets ill in the summertime? Not good.